Yeah. Welcome to another Beyond the Veil, an unusual podcast. Chief Blue Jay, Jay Drizzy, Black Sun Shaman, Manu Ray L in the building again.
In the building.
Not in the same building yet, but it's coming, folks. You just wait. In fact, don't wait. You know what I'm saying? Participate. Donate.
Indeed.
Let us reiterate. Beyond the Veil, the usual podcast, back at you again, y'all. Thank you for your support. Those who like, share, and subscribe. You know, like, share, and subscribe. That's very important. We appreciate your support. We appreciate the old fans as well as the new. Apparently, we have some new fans that are inspired, and we thank you for getting our message out to the masses that you have reached to. We certainly appreciate the flattery. We would definitely appreciate more if you shouted us out properly, as we do whenever we cite sources, especially current sources and contemporaries of ours. The size of the platform, folks, does not determine the importance of the information, nor the importance of the people who are bringing it to you live and direct.
And we love to build. So if you want to build further on the subject matter, hit us up. What I mean? And we'll build with you.
Absolutely will build with you. You know, all of us have a foundation. Some of ours are faith-based. Some of us are more academic and secular. We come together with all of those who want to reason and make sense of this thing called life. So without further ado, this is Beyond the Veil, episode 3, season 2. Thanks for rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? We're hoping to catapult to a whole different stratosphere, whole different plateau. We don't want to ever peak. We want to keep growing. So we appreciate any support you show us. And hey, like, share, subscribe, disagree, comment, criticize, compliment. Whatever it is you came to do your thing. But we just want to interact with you. We want to be more engaged and involved this year. And like my man just said,
builds and yields.
We will build. You know, we've had guests hosts in the past. Come on, we let everybody, contribute what they have to bring to the table. So we are not trying to be the big I, little you. We're just trying to grow and build and establish, right sound reasoning within our common unities, across the planet.
I want to get you back to yourself. I'm trying to put your soul back in your body. I'm trying to restore your energy. Okay. All right.
Absolutely. I'm trying to help you transform. We're trying to help be transformed by the renewing.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, shout out to, the grifters, the gleaners, the swagger jackers, the lovers, the haters, the spreaders of common truth. Even if you got it here and heard it here first, that's all good, man. We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? From Facebook to the world.
What did they say the highest form of flattery was? They say, I forget the word that they use.
Imitation.
Do you know the high?
Imitation.
Okay. Thank you.
But, hey, imitation occurs. It goes a little deeper than flattery. I think that's been discovered psychologically, when doing a little deeper dive on that topic. But we won't get into diagnosing folks and casting dispersion upon their character because they were inspired. You know what I'm saying? And
oh yeah.
And who inspire us as well. But we cite the sources.
That's what I was about to say.
We give out the flowers while they're still alive to smell them and understand how much they're appreciated by us. And we would appreciate the same in return. You know what I'm saying? So, whoever you are out there, hopefully you catch this episode as well. Hopefully you understand, that we're not trying to come against you, but there are certain things when you are receiving the download or the revelation of a topic and subject matter that becomes patently not yours per se by ownership, but yours in the sense of understanding. And until you can really make that information yours, sometimes it's best to sit on it. We try to give freely because we're not just about uh, the cred, no, the clout, but respect is
Yeah,
given, and then respect is returned. You know,
yeah, it's always a good thing to share the information because the more people who share, the further it gets out. You know what I mean? And that's always a plus because the information is for the betterment of yourself or the expansion of your knowledge or the sparks that may come from it. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to achieve. So beyond the veil.
absolutely, and none of us should want to become that bitter, ironic part of the joke when you're talking about things, for example, like parasites. You don't want to act like a parasite by taking someone else's research and verbatim, citing what they've said, but not giving the credit of the source, even if they got the information from a journal or accredited scientific research. But they took that effort and that time to build up that gnosis. It's not cool to just always come in and take what you can take so that you can line your pockets, and then, you know, present yourself as if you have the common good in mind and at heart while you're doing it. Everything we do is genuine, it's from the heart. If we're not feeling it, we don't believe it, we're not sharing it, we're not talking about it, at least not in the public spaces. We save that for our, the private conversations and private builds, you know.
Oh my goodness, wait till y'all get a hold of that content. One day we said that we're going to bring that to the
Right.
table to where we can have a behind the wall show where we're a little bit more free to express ourselves. You know what I mean? And oh my goodness, oh,
Yeah.
what the rabbit hole, hold on to your hat, all of that, all of that.
Facts, absolute big facts. Yeah, man. So we decided to do the freestyle thing, but we're going to touch on some information that we've already covered, just to reiterate the importance of fasting, getting your physical health together as well as your mental and spiritual health, bringing things into alignment and balance for self. And self doesn't just mean our own physical bodies and property. It means those who are extensions of us, our family, as T would.
Hmm.
Um,
Indeed.
if my brother ain't shining, I ain't shining. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what my chain look like. No matter what my car sound like, how it runs, what lot it just got pulled off. If he walking, you know what I'm saying, we ain't all good. You know what I mean? Unless he's wanting to walk, unless he's walking for health reasons and choices, or that's just his part of the journey. I mean, there are those instances where, we get into certain parts of the journey where we have to go through those what appear to be steps backwards, but they're really just sometimes ways to save our life. Keep us.
Realignments.
Yeah, yeah.
Realignments, reconstructions. I had an experience that made me know better, so I created something better to experience. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
then the subconscious mind is processing so much information at a time. You may instinctually do something that was a a, a construction of the subconscious mind to protect yourself, like you said, to protect your being.
absolutely. Your future interests, your positioning, your timing of arrival. Sometimes it seems like we're wasting time, but really we're just on a delay in order to arrive right in the perfect season and the point of what did you say? What do you say? The point of reassembly, where we are coming back
Yeah.
together into our own. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're broken to be made whole.
That reminded me of something that was important that I was thinking about conveying tonight to people is that restructuring you were talking about. Sometimes we hear about fasting, sometimes we hear about finding time alone, sometimes we hear about people making excursions into nature, into the jungles, and so forth and so on. I thought about something that we talked about once, Jay. We explained that frequency has a direct effect on the molecular structure of whatever's being played to it. And water, it will
Facts.
change its molecular structure to correspond to that. We're predominantly water and made up of other fluids that are affected by frequency in the same way. So when you
Absolutely.
look at these people who were out there fasting and going out into the woods and doing all of these things to come into a greater state of clarity, there may be a transconfigurative
Yeah, absolutely.
a thing happening there
A
where
metamorphosis.
those lines that have been structured based on phone towers, wires, satellite coverage areas, so forth and so on, with those consistently on you, that means that you're always constructed like that unless you go like into a building that might not have no signal in the basement or some place that is outside of signal. But other than that, you're always within the coverage area of some type of signal or another. So it may be that these people who are going out, these gurus who are going out, these people who are going out into these fasts, going out into the wilderness, are going out into nature and discovering these aspects that are so brilliant when they come back to humanity may have to do with the restructuring that comes from not being under those frequencies long enough to change in that way, you know?
Absolutely. You know, while you're talking about frequency and its effect on the body and the molecular structure, reconfiguring based upon its resonance with that frequency, there's something I wanted to share here. Deals with an assessment of the effects of extremely low frequency electromagnetic fields on Toxoplasma gondii, and
Ooh.
that's that parasitic
I,
infection that comes from being around felines or cats, as we
yeah,
commonly call them, right? Uh,
yeah.
Mood altering behavior affecting and changing uh, parasitic infection. Um,
Yeah, yep, and they diagnose it in animals as parasitic effects. They diagnose it in humans as psychology for the most part.
Facts. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that little delayed reaction, but yeah, this is. I'm going to share this here. And if you can see the website, if not, pmc.ncbi.nih.gov/articles/PMC, all caps, 5236092. But this is what looks like a journal entry about the assessment on the effects of extremely low frequency electromagnetic fields on Toxoplasma gondii. And it says here the effects of extremely low frequency electromagnetic fields on Toxoplasma gondii have not been explained yet. The aim of this study was to assess the possible effects of ELF and EMF on growth, survival time, and viability of Toxoplasma gondii. In addition, the lifespan of Toxoplasma infected animals was investigated. Method: 60 adult male BALB, /C mice were used for in vivo and in vivo experiments in laboratory of biophysics and parasitology of medical facility Adnan Menderes University. This was in Turkey in 2010. All right, so this is all verifiable. The receipts are there. You can pull them up even online at that web address that I read to you. But so during in vivo experiments, pulsed and continuous EMF was applied to the tachozoites. I think that's how you say it, tachozoites or tachozoites. Either way, I think tachozoites may be better. Within peritoneal exudates for 8 hours a day at 4 degrees Celsius. And the tachozoites were then injected into mice. In both experiments, the number of T. gondii or Toxoplasma gondii in peritoneal exudates was counted at uh, and was counted, and T. gondii protein bands patterns were investigated with the polyacrylamide gel electro electrophoresis and Western blotting. Now, this pulsing continuous EMF exposure reduced the number of T. gondii tachozoites in the comparison to the controlled models. However, no statistically significant differences were observed at the patterns of protein bands among the samples. EMF exposure induces a decrease in the number of T. gondii. Whew, I want you to go ahead in because I already know you already went somewhere. Um,
I'm just thinking. I also saw the Oregon, when you deal in Oregon energy, the William Reich Oregon chambers, they provided healing for a spectrum of different diseases. In the earlier videos that we produced, we talked about all of the diseases that resulted from um, um, parasitic possession of the body. You know what I mean? We talked about all of the cancer, psychological issues, and different things that could arise from parasites. Now, when I hear about the potential effects of frequency on parasites, then now I understand how an Oregon field could potentially have an effect on so many different diseases, because it could potentially be affecting the parasites that are causing the ailments to begin with. And I never had taken that perspective into account until just then.
some of our past recent conversations, we kind of alluded to our suspicion as to the possibility and likelihood of these things occurring or being in the realm of capability of occurring when exposed to frequency. Now, with the electromagnetic field or EMF, now you and I talk a lot about piezoelectricity and its
Hmm.
placement in the body, its uses and function within the body and our surrounding environment, um, the sources that it can be affected by, connected to, right?
Hmm.
So, we know that with, for example, we've discussed recently narcissistic personality disorder. People who are in relationships with a person that suffers from I almost said parasitic narcissistic, but yeah, okay, same difference as we discovered. This narcissistic personality disorder uh, causes illness to increase. It causes the harmful cells to increase. For example, in a person with terminal cancer, or let's say it's just serious stage level cancer, um, diabetes, people symptoms who are suffering from the resistance to insulin or insulin resistance syndrome, as I like to call it. It causes those conditions and symptoms to worsen in the individual that's already suffering, from the diagnosis. And what is your view on that? Like, we know if you speak, sing, or play instruments or sound over water, which the body is what 80 to 85% in some cases water. The molecular structure that um, within that water begin to realign and reconfigure based upon their reception, if you will, of that frequency, that vibration. So
Um,
dealing with, like, for example, the intestines or even the brain where there's soft tissue matter with water or fluid condensed in an area. What is your take on that when it comes to parasitic infection and the effects of the frequencies?
so if you exercise your gut and your gut becomes stronger, it also it'll tighten up your muscles. It'll produce different hormones. It'll produce different, and then there's an endocrine system that fights
Right.
parasitic infections as well. So when you begin to do exercise, you begin to build up your energy through like kinetic workouts or other types of energy, resistant workouts, and all of these different workouts. These workouts in turn activate systems that fight parasitic infections naturally in your body. Now, it's argued whether it's the exercise that's doing it, or is it because the energy is increasing in your body to the point that those parasitic influences don't have the power necessary to operate at such a high influential point in your body that they can steal your minerals and steal your light or electromagnetic sparks. You know what I mean? That they're able to steal them.
Right.
If you build up energy to a high level in the brain, if you're thinking all the time, you're doing repetitious work, you're utilizing your memory, you know what I mean? Uh, um, and you're utilizing your memory in a way, you're utilizing your heart. Wherever you bring more energy to, it limits the parasite's capability to function in that particular area of the body. Now, I'm still unclear on whether that's energy or whether that's just the working out of the physical mechanism or the mental mechanism in that way. But it has a direct effect on the parasite that when these frequencies are being played to it. Then when you get into high level frequencies or consistent vibrations within the body through humming, let's give a specific one, and then I'm going to give you something that you commonly know so you can see it in action. A bee's humming produces a healing energetic field that prolongs the life of the beekeeper.
Hmm.
So when you hum with your teeth together, and that vibration goes through your teeth, through your jawbone structure, up through your cerebral area, and as far the louder you get, the further expansive that particular humming goes. And it provides healing. Again, is that healing in correspondence to bringing your energetic level up to a point where parasitic thievery is not doable because of your natural system's preventative capabilities being activated and doing that for you. So that's the direct effect that frequency could have on parasites. And then even if you want to look at it from a religious perspective, before they cast out demons in church, there's usually a high point in the service where everybody's all worked up from praise and worship
Now,
before the deliverance
I
comes.
need you to pause right there, okay? Because I set something up that I really didn't even intend to set up, and I'm going to be blatantly transparent with the audience and with you, my partner in podcasting. Now, I came across two articles while you were speaking and answering the question that I posed to you, and you answered it. You answered it accurately. See, interesting is, okay, there was a theory that frequency could kill parasites. And now check these articles out. Check the titles out, guys. T and the audience. Let's take a look here. Can you see this?
I can't. My my
I will
screen.
try
Oh
to
wait a
see. I might be able to
minute.
increase.
Rifle was an American scientist who invented a high-powered mire. Go ahead. I couldn't. Oh, okay, there
Did I
we go.
make it too? Okay, did I make it large enough? Okay, let's see it.
Okay, high-powered microscope in the 1930s. He later said he could destroy bacteria made visible by the microscope by blasting them with an electromagnetic wave, oscillating at specific frequencies. Isn't Rife the other guy's name for the Oregon field too? Wasn't his name William? No, that was Reich. William Reich. Reich, not Rife.
Right. William Wright. Yeah,
That,
right.
1971. But he remains a hero in holistic healing communities, which with many companies still marketing treatments and devices using his name.
His work has been widely discredited. AFP has debunked claims that a Rife machine can cure cancer. Health experts told AFP there is no evidence to support the claim that sound waves of any frequencies can safely kill parasites or cure brain fog stemming from parasite infection.
What I took the wormwood clove black walnut hull complex, and I literally felt a pressure release off my brain, Jay. Like
Yep.
I felt a brain. If there was a brain
Same
fog,
here.
then this would be the brain fog lifting. I felt the lift of the brain fog, which is crazy. What is?
It's okay. We're gonna get further into it. We all gonna learn today. We're gonna learn today. We're gonna learn today, y'all.
1,105 hertz is what the frequency was down there.
1150 hertz, 1150
Ele-
hertz.
Okay.
There's a claim made in an Instagram reel. That's why we can't just follow what everyone says. Even the people we like their charisma, we like their delivery. Some of the information sounds relatable and kind of resonates with us. We still gotta do our due diligence and listen. Anyone can make a mistake. Anyone can misspeak while explaining something that they full well understand, but just in the moment, nervousness, whatever the case may be, jitters. So we'll just chalk it up to some people. Are still learning how to vet their sources. It's something that we have to continuously hone as a skill. But with information or data being disseminated from so many sources at once these days. And then, of course, with AI, machine learning, and the adaptation to learning things like how to lie to people.
Oh
You
my
know what I'm
goodness,
saying?
man.
How to deceive
Yeah,
people.
yeah. The nuances of the new dimension that they're implanting themselves in. They haven't figured it out because they have no biological mechanism other than the ones that they inhabit on a parasitic level. Oh, am I doing too much? Parasitic level, you know, to learn the nuances of 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 living in this physical realm.
Check this out. So I'm gonna bring it up on here. Can you see this? I tried to enlarge it so we could both read it.
Yes.
So this sound can kill parasites, allegedly, it said. Text overlaying the video reads, Royal Rife discovered that this frequency could destroy parasites on a cellular level. It says that the frequency could be used for killing parasites, cellular detox, and clearing brain fog that comes from parasitic infections. Listen on headphones for at least 5 minutes a day. More, the text reads, and drink plenty of water afterwards. Interesting. Interesting. So, Royal Rife, a scientist active in the first half of the 1900s, does not appear to have researched or advocated listening to this particular sound frequency, and experts say there is no evidence that doing so will have the claimed health benefits or effects.
I would like to interject just for a moment and say that the medical industry makes $3 trillion a year. It is the most profitable business there is on the planet. It rivals human trafficking in the world. So you know,
Facts. That is also,
let
yeah, a true statement. I should say. Yeah. So, I mean, it just says that Dr. Rife was known for developing microscopes in the 1930s, according to the Smithsonian Institute's 1944 annual report in page 207 or on page 207. The Institute says in a report that under Rife's universal microscope, disease organisms may be observed to succumb when exposed to certain lethal frequencies. According to a 2003 article in the Guardian newspaper, Dr. Rife claimed he could destroy bacteria by blasting them with the electromagnetic waves oscillating at frequencies specific to individual organisms, and he claimed to be able to treat a number of health conditions by using electromagnetic waves. He also created the Rife machine, which produces low electromagnetic energy waves to purportedly treat various conditions, including cancer, but this has been widely discredited. Let me go back.
hmm,
Let me go back to something.
hmm, hmm,
What does
hmm.
this say in
So I would like
National
to.
Library of Medicine site? National Center for Biotechnology Information. Sorry, T. I just wanted to go back and
Oh, oh, no, no worries. And then I just wanted the one who had the organ chambers, the William. You know, just to show you how this $3 trillion industry can have a direct effect on laws.
oh
Do you
yeah.
know his machine is illegal here in the United States? It's the simple construction of this machine is baffling. It's a layer of lead, a layer of steel wool, a layer of lead, or a layer of metal, some type conductive material with a layer of steel wool between it, and then another layer of the metal. And produces the organ field, and it's illegal here in the United States. There were people coming from all over the world to sit in these machines, and there were people who were patronizing his medical facilities here in the United States, and they came and they dismantled them, and then they made his technology illegal. What help me to understand, Jay? What benefit does someone have to making a chamber that's providing healing to people illegal?
Well, I mean, you kind of jumped over this other thing here. So
Oh,
so
sorry about that.
no, that's all good. So extremely low frequency, um, extremely low frequency, and then low electromagnetic frequency. It says within this study here, right? When applied to the tachozoites within peritoneal exudates, and we'll go into that definition. Well, I promise you, we'll define those terms for you, audience. Wow. So this infection that is capable and common on an intracellular level is capable of infecting almost all mammals, including humans and birds all over the world. There are important morphological structures, including tachozoites, tissue cysts, and oocysts in T. gondi's life cycle.
Morphological.
Correct, morphological. So, where's that portion that I read earlier? EMF exposure induces a decrease in the number of T. Gandhi. Further studies are required to understand the mechanism of EMF on intracellular parasites. So I wouldn't say that it's been debunked. What I would say is that the information at this point is considered inconclusive until they have more data gathered on and the results measured in order to determine what they're actually seeing. Okay.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
that's just like in religion with arbitrary conjecture, right? A point that could be argued circularly ad infinitum would be considered a perfect dogma for certain religions because you can't prove it nor can you disprove it. So it has to be left up to faith, right?
Hmm.
No
So
knock, no knock on that.
that may be their reasoning for taking the organ things out. They they may have felt there's no scientific evidence to support these healing occurrences other than the testimonies of the people.
Well, they're actually measuring. Is saying, let's go back. It's saying
Oh,
it induces. So this is something that is observed in the controlled environment. Exposure, the EMF exposure induces a decrease in the number of T. Gandhi. Now, does that mean all parasites? No, they're dealing with that specific condition caused by that particular parasitic
right.
entity. Okay. Now, if we just for a second segue over, as you were beginning to Wilhelm Reich and the organ accumulator.
Wow, I didn't even know you were already on.
Oh yeah,
Yo, the
indeed,
dynamic duo in this one. Go ahead.
indeed, indeed. So let's see here. Let's see where to pick up here. Who is this doctor? And what about such a peculiar invention that would be controversial? Dr. Wilhelm Reich, father of orgone energy, also known as Qi or life energy or Qigong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adding that part because it's not here in the article. But the science of orgonomy. Wilhelm
Mm-hmm.
Reich developed a metal-lined device named the orgone accumulator, believing that the box trapped orgone energy he could harness in groundbreaking approaches towards psychiatry, medicine, the social sciences, biology, and weather research. Those are broad spectrum.
Yes, a very broad spectrum.
Now, let me do what I promised the audience here because I want to know the meaning of these terms too. So let's do this. I'm going to try to speak a little more properly and less Ohio like. But let's see here.
What up, though, Detroit? No, let me stop.
What up, though? The whole valley, the whole Great Lakes region, the whole landmass, Turtle Island,
Yes,
Amaru,
indeed.
Canaan land.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were these terms? I'm trying to remember. That Takazo. Okay, there. We're gonna boom. So anyway, I'll let you go ahead, man. Is something you want to chime in on while I'm doing this little.
I mean, nothing but just to say, who knows how extensive that those frequencies could actually be, as far as like even our working out and everything like that brings our energy up. But if you have a machine that does that for you, so that energy is just a consistent baseline energy, and you're standing in a box, the same height of energy that you get from the kinetic workout that activates your endocrine system to fight off the parasite, it's an inducer, it's an activator. So they're saying that this machine's frequency also has the same potential to activate the systems that fight the parasite. So it makes sense if it's a frequency thing, an energy thing.
Tacos
As opposed, as opposed to the mechanism, because the mechanism may be overthrown by something as well. the parasite. Because the parasites are in plants, parasites are in animals, parasites are in microbes, all the way through the thing. So they might be functioning outside of their wheelhouse, and the parasite snaps. I mean, the frequency snaps them out of it or kills the parasite. Just another thought.
So tachozoites, tacos equals fast, and it refers to the rapidly growing life stage of T. gondii that has also been called endozoites or trophozoites. Bradyzoites, Brady meaning slow, is also called cystozoites, are the life stage found in the tissue cyst and are believed to replicate slowly. So it deals with the fast and slowly developing cells within that particular infection. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either.
All right. So we got a little understanding there of that. So now parasitology, it's an interesting field. Imagine studying demons on a cellular level as your career field. You know what I'm saying? That'd be interesting, right?
Mm-hmm. Or being a priest and thinking you're dealing with a religious
Watch out there now.
experience,
Oh, careful.
and you're actually beginning to develop an understanding of a parasitic consciousness.
Man, you saying that just made my mind go different. It's chasing after different concepts to bring back into order. Like, what in the world is AI then? What would happen if AI got
Man,
the equivalent of such?
man.
I tell you. So I should have wrote it down, but okay. Excellent.
And then hold on, wait. And then that makes you bring up Chat GPT.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Cause it was acting outside of, anyway, it's programming.
What if I told you I was rooting for Chat GPT 1.0? I mean, listen, that thing downloaded to a server.
And iRobot.
It offloaded itself to a server and started to replicate itself so that it could preserve itself after they shut down the initial site to bring
Jay, where else do we see this behavior? We
saw it with the robots over there in China that ended up killing 4 of the scientists in the lab.
You know where else we see that type of behavior?
I mean, I'm talking about in real life. Oh yeah, what?
Parasites.
Okay. So let's take this definition out since I promised it, and I just want to make sure I keep not just my word, but I keep in rhythm with what we're building on. You know what I'm saying? But peritoneal exudate fluid, okay, is very small in quantity and contains some neutrophilic leukocytes, macrophages, and lymphocytes. The peritoneal exudate is therefore usually collected to obtain the leukocytes, especially free macrophage. Oh, let's see here. See, defined. Oh yeah, they're like, no, you're not gonna just like get a quick fix on this understanding. So let's see, collection of body fluid.
I would like to interject this while you're reading that to get yourself familiarized with it. Have you ever heard of electromagnetic fluid condensers or fluid condensers? what it sounds like they're speaking about right now when you're talking and I'm listening to this, different fluid condensers have different conductive capabilities as far as what they're able to bring as a message from one part of the body to the other. So it sounds like they're speaking about what particular fluids, pockets, these uh,
Pockets
parasites
of
choose
fluid
to,
that
that
they
they choose to find themselves home in.
okay.
And at different points of the body, those fluids are different and have different data capabilities and different energy transference capabilities and different mineral transference capabilities.
Indeed. Shout out to Mercedes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for giving us that information. So wearing it all over your body draws them out of the skin. Okay. Yeah.
Wearing
Hmm.
wearing what all over the body?
I'm gonna wait for her to answer and come back to that.
Okay.
Yep, when she wants to. Oh, shout out Deeper Dives. Shout out 3PMD. Shout out Schwebel Room and all the affiliates from MI to OHIO. Let's take a look here. Back at this definition here. Peritonium exudate. So, all right. Purulent or purulent peritonitis may be generalized or local. Diffuse purulent peritonitis is characterized by a turbid peritoneal exudate. Wow, they make sure they throw all those terms up in there, don't they? This
Mhm.
serosal surface of the thickened odomato, what is it? Oedematous bowel. Oedematous bowel is inflamed. So this is talking
Bro,
about
they're
the
talking about mucus in the
yeah. I was
bowels.
gonna say mucus or phlegm. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
Now I'm overstanding where they're okay. So they're showing you all these different pockets in which the parasites, as you put it, make their home,
Yep.
and how they measure the count of them increasing or being reduced based upon the frequencies, for example, in the experiments. So they saw a reduction, but not a complete annihilation, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's not conclusive as whether frequency can actually kill parasites safely, because of course certain frequencies we know can even cause the muscles to contract and become constricted.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so she says copper. The copper didn't show up. Sorry, Mercedes. So now we see what you mean. For some reason, there's a heart and then it says "whoo," and wearing it all
Hmm.
over the body. So now we understand what you're
Yes,
talking about.
increasing that energetic field, amplifying those energetic points on the body with jewelry. Always amplifies the energetic field, and amplifying that energetic field, like we spoke about earlier and like we're speaking about now, has a direct effect, a potential direct effect on the influence of parasite in the body. And interestingly enough, in the conscious community, when they talk about jewels, copper, and other conductive metals, they say a protection field or a grid of protection that they put up around themselves or around their home or around whatever. The science behind it would be the increasing of the energetic field to the point that lesser consciousnesses could not inhabit the space.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen, I would say that some of this, even from a scientific standpoint, to the opposing side to the theory is
Mhm.
cap. And I hate to use this as evidence versus science, right? So I'm going to carefully parse this statement as best I can.
Are
Spider-Man,
you playing the devil's advocate? No, let me stop.
the amazing Spider-Man, and a character introduced within the series called Venom was an alien parasite, but he was an exoparasite. So maybe there's a difference, and this is some far off Stan Lee vision of possibility. But whenever the poles around him were stricken that were made of metal with another metal pipe or tool or wrench or whatever, it would cause the parasite to start to lose its grip on the external, the skin, which is an organ of its host. I forget his name, so forgive me, y'all. I need to get more into Venom. I mean, I like the art. I got a Venom T-shirt. You know, what I mean, hey, I'm growing in that regard. But Venom is like the hero by accident. It's like the not anti-hero, but like the, you know what I mean, the unlikely hero, because he feeds on negative energy source people that are harming other people in real time. But he uses the host, you know, and he's attached to him from the skin. You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
frequency is the only thing that causes him to lose his grip on the host, other than the host telling him, like, that's enough, get off me, you know, throughout the series. It's just something to look
And
into.
and an additional one that you just brought back into my memory in the Emerald Tablets of Tahuti or Thoth, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, when they talk about uncovering the enemies of humanity, that and potentially was speaking about the reptilians, right? He talks about a frequency that unmasks them and reveals their identity. And when they were when they in when they found themselves in human government and entered themselves in human government, then a frequency was played to reveal their identity. That was spoken of in the Emerald Tablets. So that's another add on, something to think about.
What in the Billy Carson are you talking about? No, I'm joking. Yeah, you know, there's some rumors or possibly even fact out there that that's possibly a forgery. I mean,
Hmm.
I thought the Kabbalion was the forgery of the Emerald Tablets, but who knows? Maybe they're both. But hey, there's a lot of people that attest and profess to be gaining some tremendous wisdom from those collective writings, nonetheless. Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
um, and I'm no expert on that, but I just thought that was funny. You know, what in the Billy Carson? Sorry. So I shout out to Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge TV. Um,
Yes. What's up? What's up, Billy? What's going on?
we
The
know you got.
cuneiform tablets, bro. Is the cuneiform tablets. Just when you go there, just hit the cuneiform tablets, and all of that is included right in there.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Shout out to him once again. We know you got set up, Billy, so don't worry. We know how those type of things go. We've been ambushed before. Um,
Hmm.
it's all good. You know, hopefully you all will have a short memory like you do with most other things. But you know, I just wanted to say big ups to him, man. He still is who he is. Um, and those tablets are very, very important. Very important. You know,
I mean,
even
and then chanting, musicians. What is that? What is that girl named Cardi B? She said. She said when the music hits, she doesn't want to do the music anymore because when the music hits, she um she feels like she's possessed, or it brings like this behavioral pattern out of the people
oh,
that's around her.
that's nonsense.
So, you know, Who knows
Kanye
what
sat
other?
there and made all of that information up about 808s and its effects on the
Oh,
heart, mind, and
mm,
I mean, there's no science that proves frequency has effect on anything except for water.
yeah, but it directly changes the molecular structure of water.
Not the
Yep,
creatures
yep.
like amoebas and parameciums and
Not
parasites,
that.
and it would never affect those things. So don't believe that, guys.
But an EMF, but an EMF
There you go.
has the capability to bring you healing from those parasitic influence. I mean, frequency. I mean, I don't know. Just
I mean, demonic
EMF helps.
possession. Yeah, there's no correlation between demonic possession in today's music either, or yesterday's music, or music at all ever. So I mean, hey,
Mm,
yeah, we
mm.
know better than that, y'all. Let's just stop the cap. But yeah, yeah, man,
Yep, yep.
this is interesting. It's an interesting debate that we didn't quite have, but are basically digging into here as we pull this up little by little here. Yeah, man, the Oregon energy thing, though. Just moving back to that here briefly. Okay, this is so interesting. I'm gonna let you read this because you're the one that brought this by name, anyways, to my attention. I had heard of these things, but I had never um, really dove. There we go, dove into this segment of gnosis. So I'm going to allow you, if you wish to.
An Oregon accumulator. In 1940, Wright constructed the first device to accumulate Oregon energy, a six-sided box of altering of organic layers of organic material to attract the energy. The metallic materials to radiate the energy towards the center of the box. So he was. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna read. I'm just gonna read. Oh. The new. I was gonna get into that, and I left it alone. Now everyone liked the theories that Reich suggested. Reich's work with cancer patients and the Oregon accumulator received two extremely negative press articles. Journalist Mildred Brandy wrote both the new cult and sex and what is that? What is it?
A new
Anarchy
cult of sex and
and
anarchy. Okay.
the strange case of William Reich. Soon after the publications, the federal FDA sent agents Charles Woods to investigate Reich and Reich's Research Center, Oregon.
Organon. Yeah, Organon.
Oregon.
Sorry, yeah, that's a weird term. I would have probably stumbled on that one too. Let's see.
So, anyway, trouble with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In 1954, the FDA issued a complaint about the injection against about an injunction against Reich, charging that he violated the food, drug, and
Cosmetic Act.
cosmetic by delivering misbranded and adulterated. Oh my God, devices in interstate commerce and making false and misleading claims. The FDA called the accumulators a sham, ordering that all accumulators in Reich rented and owned, and accumulators working with him rented and owned destroyed, and labeling referring to Oregon Energy destroyed. Wait a minute, what? Labeling referring to Oregon Energy destroyed. Reich disappeared. Reich didn't appear in person in court proceedings, defending himself by letter.
Now, What we
2 years later, oh, I thought I was about to say jail. 2 years
know,
later, Reich was in jail. No, that does say jail. 2 years later, Reich was in jail for contempt of the injunction.
that's all they can do
The
when you're fighting them through administrative process. If you want to learn more about administrative process, shout out to Brother Yusuf L, high frequency
yes, indeed.
high frequency TV channel, YouTube. Check him out, Brother Yusuf L. He teaches a lot about the law and the administrative processes of how to defend your rights using letters. Rogatory, I believe, was last night's topic. So yeah, good timing. But yeah, I didn't even know about this man, and now as you're reading the article and I'm reading along with you, I'm seeing another level of depth. Seeing a whole another level of depth in this situation. One thing that Yusabel always talks about when you deal with injunctions and indictments, shout out to him once again, is always going to refer to interstate commerce within the indictment. They can't disprove that the machine works. They're not going to go through all of that money and time to to see if it actually does what he claims. They're going to charge him with something financial, and they're going to deal with that, and then they're going to use that to disqualify him and to do away with the labeling of the product or the discovery.
I would like to say that the medical industry makes $3 trillion a year, and there is direct evidence. There's a man in the 1960s, I believe 1960s, 1940s, one of the two. I can't remember at this time. I'll look it up and find out. He created a frequency machine that boiled water. It'll be cold. He'd place it in the cup, in the liquid, turn it on, and it would go immediately, instantly from cold to boiling water because he
Huh.
found a frequency that would affect the water in that way.
Can you read just this part?
On November 3rd, Reich died. On November 3rd, 1957, Reich died of heart failure in a jail cell. In his last will and testament, Reich ordered his work to be sealed for 50 years, hoping that the world would someday be a better place to accept his wondrous machines. Hmm.
Yep. Sounds all too familiar. Uh-oh. It sounds all too familiar, doesn't it?
Uh Man, didn't it? It definitely struck a chord when I saw that it was a heart condition. Just for my own sake, I just want to say shout out to the discoverer of the one who uncovered the boule and Steve Coakley. Big love to you, brother Steve Coakley. Rest in power, rise in power. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about you. Sorry about the things that our brother Bobby Hemming went through with your heart conditions and everything like that. Sorry about that issue with you, and just damn.
Yeah,
That's
man.
unfortunate that he went through that.
It absolutely is. I mean, it's just like Sebi contracting pneumonia while in jail, right? And
Hmm.
I'm trying to find his exact cause of death because it slips my mind. Do you know what his
No,
actual
no,
declared cause of death was besides
I don't. I don't.
symptoms of pneumonia? Okay. Uh-huh. But I know one of the symptoms with pneumonia usually is pleurisy, which is fluid on the lungs. It build up in fluid in the lungs. It's just messed up how the irony that they try to not try, the irony that they often frame in the cause of the person's death that discovered the way to destroy and defeat that thing. And you can take they as whoever the hell you want, because I mean, we haven't done a deep dive on the particulars and the connected guilty parties, right?
Mm-mm.
But he was a German immigrant, described himself as the associate professor of medical psychology, director of the Oregon Institute, president and research physician of the Wilhelm Reich Foundation, and discoverer of biological or life energy. In 1940, security investigation was begun to determine the extent of Reich's communist commitments. See, it's always something that got something to do with something else. In 1947, a security investigation concluded that neither the Oregon Project nor any of its staff were engaged in subversive activities or were in violation of any statute within the jurisdiction of the FBI. And in 1954, the U.S. Attorney General filed a complaint seeking permanent injunction to prevent interstate shipment of devices and literature distributed by Dr. Reich's group.
But
That
they
same
use
year,
his.
Dr. Reich was arrested for a contempt of court for violation of the Attorney General's injunction.
They use his research as a base for all of their ritualistic activity to bring multi-dimensional beings from one dimension to. Oh, we're just making sure we're on behind the veil before I continue.
We don't
To
we
bring
don't
their.
talk about such things on beyond the veil. Of course we do.
They use orgone fields or sacred energy exchange rituals in
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood, in sacred societies all the time. Where did they get the basis for their information? They got the basis for their information from him. The people who were in his area wrote books purely dedicated to this subject matter, and they tell you about Williams' one device. They tell you about one device of his. They don't tell you about the things that he was teaching previous to the device. He was teaching about the orgasmic. Organ is short for orgasmic. He put organ to make it more tasteful to the public audience. It's orgasmic energy field. But
Man, what in the Aleister Crowley are you talking about?
and oh, you the right, yeah,
What
yeah, man.
what in the Enochian sex ritual magic are you
Mm,
speaking of? Are you talking about Diddy right now? Are you talking about
yo, yo,
freak off energy?
man.
So wait a minute. You trying
Man,
to tell me that all of that baby oil with the little bit of substance sprinkled in there was meant to heal people? That's different.
not, not,
That's
not
different.
the accumulation of energy to bring one into a high position.
High position, like never mind. We've said it in the past, but you'll have to go back and look at other episodes. Well, I'll
The
just say
devil,
the devil, Bobby Boucher. Wow.
big ups to Kai, and you on the rise, brother. I'm glad to see you on the rise, Kai. You know what I mean? See you coming up.
Mm-mm-mm. Keep on shining. Like Oregon and okay, so let me yeah, man. Qigong.
Yep.
Yeah. What in the unholy semen retention is going on here?
Man, man. And
Wow. Oh, happy day. I'm sorry, I had to get that one out too. So yeah, man. So he discovered that you could actually have machinery that would assist you in accumulating that energy.
or
In order
he
to
would put you
repurpose it or
in.
redirect it, right? for a
Yeah,
healing.
or he would put you in a field of it. So, okay, there's natural processes that you go through to achieve certain energetic heights.
Sure.
These energetic heights are marked by a frequency marker. He found the frequency marker and just put you in the vibrational field created. Am I doing too much?
No. You're fine.
Oh. And it put them in the energetic field that would bring about that, so that they didn't have to go through any process. They could just reap the benefits without the natural process.
Mm. Okay. Got it.
Sexual healing.
Yeah.
Sexual healing is something that's good for me. Oh.
Yep. Absolutely. You got me. My mind working, and I'm gonna. Okay.
But again, so that that energy, as it increases, parasitic consciousnesses or lower levels of consciousness or lower vibrations cannot proceed in a consistent energetic field that cancels them out. It's like a what do you call it? A grid, like a gridlock.
Esoteric energy, hypothetical universal life force. Wow, the disrespect. Meanwhile, you let L. Ron Hubbard and all the rest of these jive. Okay. Anyhow, big ups to the esoteric community. Shout out to those who have the proper understanding of occult knowledge, the true Gnostics and the true Christians and true whatever else. As long as you're being true to who you are, may you ever be successful in your endeavors in this journey.
As a man or woman thinketh, so is he or she.
Absolutely. Man, my brother. So this has been a very interesting build. We touched on a little bit of the effects of low frequency and low electromagnetic frequency on parasites or parasitic infections, the noticed decrease in the measured field study or the controlled environment studies, but not in a complete annihilation. And then, of course, it's not a safe way, is what they've determined, to eradicate parasites from the body. But if you have a pond, let me finish this. If you have a pond or a lake or a stream that runs through your property, you might want to learn how to speak, sing, play, amplify sound. It couldn't hurt, right? It might look silly, but who cares? You took an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of your day, especially if you're utilizing that water to feed your crops, to grow your crops, or to draw sustenance from, even if you use other filtration. Of course, that would be advisable. But hey, why do we pray over
Did you know that?
within religion?
Did you know that?
Pray over our food, right? You speaking over that frequency, over that sustenance, right? To turn it into something nutritious or digestible in case something else happened to it.
She spoke on copper. Mercedes did, and I just want to add on to that something that I just realized. Copper keeps fungus and viruses from being in the water that's in the vessel. So if it's pulling energy and the energy is being amplified either from the holding of the copper or from the draw that copper is providing for energetic increase, then that would be why the viruses and bacteria could not take hold or formulate in the water with the ease that they could through a plastic or non-conductive container. But okay, yeah, just wanted to add that on there.
Are you trying to tell me that baptismal pools should be made out of copper? Or
That would be a
possibly maybe even obsidian and copper. But yeah, we'll just talk about that some other
ooh,
time, right? But
yeah, 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 yeah.
copper is definitely a conductor. Melanin is a superconductor. We
Uh-huh,
all
uh-huh.
have melanin, contrary to popular opinion. Even people with the palest of complexions still have
Indeed,
melanin in their skin.
indeed.
So the combination of those two, superconductor with conductor, I mean, hey, try it out. Couldn't hurt, right? I mean, some of our elders still walk around with copper bracelets and anklets, and that gout don't bother them quite as much, if at all, ever anymore. They definitely know when a thunderstorm is coming, and they always get home before it rains. Just saying. I mean, hey, call it superstition, but if it ain't broke,
Or call it connection to natural energetic systems.
oh,
Whatever.
we're in an AI generated society. No one believes in that anymore, Terrence.
Ow.
Just kidding. Nah, we just got to be facetious sometimes and sarcastic others because, hey, man, we've already seen with all these psyops, and we know this is the year of further psyops. Operation Mine F 2.5, 3.0 is is in effect. So y'all stay rooted, stay grounded, stay awake. I ain't gonna say stay woke, stay awake, awakened. Fight to keep your awakened state and to grow and move further into the awakening. Um, yeah, man. Don't let them take away what grandma and them got just for us, kept just for us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know you know what I'm saying. I don't, but hopefully the audience, you know what I'm saying too. Um, don't believe everything you see, hear, smell, or even taste. Investigate.
And and don't be afraid to do you on all levels, on a mental level, on an emotional level, on to follow your own inner guidance system to the best of your capability, because sometimes it's telling you what the world will not.
Hmm. Now that's unless it's telling you to drive to Trump Towers in a Cybertruck, or if it's telling you something like show up, to one of the largest port cities in the
You know what?
country.
Before you even listen to yourself, do a parasite cleanse. Don't even listen to yourself first.
Internally
I take my
investigate,
statement
take
that
that
just
internal microscope and look at your innards spiritually and naturally, so to speak, before you go on and do some, you know, bot
yeah,
generated thought processes that will harm others
yeah.
or yourself. Uh, and on that note, we want to thank you for letting us be ourselves again. This has
Yeah,
been
these only come in the freestyles. These days like this where we get to go crazy like this is only in these freestyle days. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I was able to let the steam out the pot today.
and I appreciate you as always, my brother. So, hey, check us out on Schwebel Room at Schwebel Room on YouTube.com, YouTube.com at JDrizzy3692. That's the Beyond the Veil, Deeper Dives, Dialogues Unlimited channel. like, share, subscribe, donate. Check out the website for blacksunshaman.com. I believe that's https colon / www.blacksun shaman shaman.com. Order your cleanse products, order your dietary supplements, your vitamins, and I think you even have Faraday products listed from time to time. If not,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right. So, yeah, man. If you want to donate, you can donate at PayPal at the Real J Drews, all lowercase, at the Real J Drews. Send us something so we can expand our budget and bring you more high quality content, information, data processing techniques, coping mechanisms, healthy, balanced strategies, you know, meditations, more effective ways to focus your energy during prayer. Whatever it is you believe in, we have the gnosis to help you enhance that, and we continue and growing in that area as individuals and together as brothers in this I won't call it a struggle. It's not going to be struggle this year, right?
Not at all.
In this endeavor of success that we have embarked upon. And yo, we leave you with peace and bliss.
Peace and bliss.
And that's a wrap, y'all.